like to welcome you to the Directorate for Security. This video will teach you about the layout of KRF, our duties, and our regulations. Please have a seat so you can watch this orientation video. You may ask questions once this video is over. Forward all questions to your orientation host. Warning: distribution of this tape is not allowed outside of the Ministry of Science. Failure to follow orders will result in a punishment from the DFD. If this is distributed outside of the ministry by accident, please tell your nearest security officer or a DFD employee. One of the first things you should do is grab an ID card from the ID card printer. Simply walk up to the printer and hold E down. Once it says printing keycard, you may walk away from it, as it will show up in your inventory without being near the printer. To look at your ID card, simply hold F, and it will show you your name, photo, clearance level, gun permit, and utility access. Be sure to have this at all times, as you cannot get by checkpoints without it. Also, at checkpoints, you must check if the person trying to enter or exit has an ID. Now that we have told you about ID cards, let us talk about the duties of the Directorate. The Directorate of Security is one of the biggest military entities in the world. Our duty is to ensure that the facilities of the Ministry of Science are protected. We also ensure that all personnel are kept safe and order is kept within the facility. In addition, we help keep test subjects in line and help escort tests and checkups. You are entrusted with the best weapons the Ministry has to offer. Now that we have gone over our duty, we shall talk about the layout of the facility. When you exit your spawn, you can look on your right side and see our control room. This is our most important room, as it houses the security uplinks, PA announcer, and protocol activations. The uplinks are a set of teleporters linked to the research, logistics, and utility sectors. To use them, simply hold E. You must have a L3 keycard or someone with one to get out of the uplink spawn doors. You should use these during Class 2 protocols. Once you come downstairs, you can find the facility armory, maintained by Specialist Anna Volkova. You can find all sorts of guns here, though you need credits to buy them. Do not hog the items, and share them among your fellow guards. Behind the armory is the shooting range and the special weapons locker. The special weapons locker houses 3 powerful guns, the PKM, GL06 Peppershot, and the M107. Only Sentinel Plus may use the PKM and GL06, while Field Commander Plus may use the M107. Once you come out of the HQ and come to the tram station, you can come to the research sector. This is the testing zone for the Directorate of Research and Studies and houses 3 sectors: biological, technological, and anomalous sectors. The anomalous sector is under construction. You can receive injections here to become a Titan or Ant. We will talk more about this later. You can also take a tram from the research sector to the utility sector. This sector houses the logistics and manufacturing and facility maintenance sectors. This is where LNM gets supplies and FM spawn. The only concern here is the cargo drop-offs and checkpoints, which will be covered soon. Next is the biggest part of our duties, the Test Subject Containment Area, also known as TSCA. This area houses all working class and criminal class test subjects, and numerous other areas. It is split up into the cargo drop-off area, the main line, the labor hall, gulag, kitchen, and dormitories. The main line is a red line which separates the TSCA from the rest of the facility. No TS may cross this unless it is for a test or a checkup. You may kill them if they try to do so. The canteen is where TS will get their food. They may not go inside the kitchen unless they are WCTS, in which case they can. The Gulag is where CCTS spawn. This is also where a lot of PKANB outbreaks happen. The labor hall is where TS can make things such as computer chips, do laundry, and refine and process materials. Finally, the TSCA supply points are where materials such as food are put by LNM. Only WCTS are allowed in here, as this is a direct way to the utility sector, so be sure to kill anyone who tries to leave this area. Finally, we have floor 2 to 4. Floor 2 is where Discipline, Administrative Committee, and Scientific Committee offices are located. This is also where the tribunal room is.
Next is floor 3. This is where the medical wing is. Checkups on TS are hosted here, and if you are sick, you can come here to get help.
Finally is floor 4, which is where civilians, such as yourself, spawn. There is not much here. To man a checkpoint, simply stand in front of one of the detectors and ask the following: ID? Reason for entry? Armed? Finally, we will talk about the security regulations. There are 8 general rules. Failure to follow them will result in administrative action. They are the following. 1. Being absent when fewer than 2 guards are currently guarding the TSCA. 2. Violating the nexus of discipline. 3. Disregarding orders given by higher-ranking personnel. 4. Wrongfully exercising Directorate authority for personal benefit or any other malicious purposes. 5. Performing any act that discredits the Directorate, which includes toxicity, immaturity, disgraceful conduct on duty or off duty, inefficiency in performing Directorate duties, and negligence. 6. Entering the vents without permission from an SFCI member or during Anachelovec, or without permission from a field commander or higher during a protocol higher than Anachelovec. There are 3 levels of violations. They are the following. Light violation, given for not using grammar, being immature, not following orders, and trespassing, and will result in JJs, a verbal warning, or a formal warning. Moderate violation, given for disrespect, excessive toxicity, distributing firearms, high incompetency, neglect of duties, or assisting test subjects. This can result in a suspension, demotion, exile, or HJs. Major violation, given for going rogue, leaking classified information, harassment, malicious activity, and treachery. This can result in a blacklist, demotion, or exile. Also, do not misuse your equipment. If you do, you may be suspended or lose the equipment. We also have a attire policy. There are 4 rules. Failure to follow them will result in a verbal warning. 1. Skin tones must be realistic, i.e., if you have a yellow skin tone, that is not allowed. 2. No packages must be worn. 3. Immature faces must not be worn. 4. Black gloves are for on duty, white gloves are for ceremonies. There are also rules about your authority. They are the following. 1. You are not allowed to abuse the authority that has been given to you, regardless of your rank. 2. All orders must be reasonable. 3. You cannot disobey an order from a higher rank. 4. You may not command a person of a higher rank than you. 5. Whenever communicating, you must clarify whether what you are saying is advice or an order. This can result in various violations if not followed. The second to last regulation is about desertion. There are 4 rules. 1. You are not to neglect your duties while on site. 2. You may not go AFK outside of DFS spawn for extended durations. 3. You may not ignore any security requests. 4. You may not ignore any test subjects roaming around the facility unsupervised. Failure to follow these can result in a minor or moderate violation. Finally, do not try to use loopholes, and report them to security officers if you find one. Thank you for watching this orientation video. If you have any questions, please ask your orientation host, and refer to the DFS Trello. Glory to the Ministry of Science.